By the end of this video, you can expect a full restoration of my 77 C10. I'm kidding, but I have made a lot of progress, so let's go check it out. If the world took a turn for the worst, have you ever thought about what kind of vehicle you'd want to have, especially if you were living off-grid in the middle of nowhere? It's hot as hell and it's almost 3 p.m. The truck seems pretty good. There's a pretty good shake when I'm at 65. And you know, it's an old truck, but I think that it'll be workable. I think I can get it going. I really like the truck. I just gotta figure out the steering column's a little loose. There's a hard rattle up front. Maybe it's just the tire alignment. That's about it, really. Otherwise, it runs quite well. Kind of fun to drive a manual. I haven't done that in a long time. The seat looks like it's in pretty good condition, which is kind of rare. And oh, the windshield needs replaced. I've lived off-grid 5 years with just my van, and let me tell you, it's been a pain in the ass. I need 2 vehicles. You might be surprised. I think a lot of people have a mental block where, well, this is just an old truck. There's nothing I can do for it. I don't know much about trucks. But look, just yank out the carpet and clean it up a little bit. It ain't that bad. This is the slop that I saw. And after pulling this apart, it looks like I should be able to tighten these bolts. And that alone should fix that problem. And then the fuel gauge doesn't work, so I'm going to switch it out and see if it's the gauge itself. And this is pretty cloudy, and this one's clearer, so I'll probably try to use this one. I can't just switch them out entirely because this one doesn't match. With my van broke down, I needed to get water, so I took the truck for a load of water, and lo and behold, it ran pretty well other than that shake above 60 miles an hour. Well, horses would make good transportation, but we're talking about a pickup truck. I probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I would want something that's super reliable and very easy to fix, maybe without all the computers and stuff. But John, that truck's 50 years old. Where would you find parts for it? Well, the Chevy C10, an example, and I'm not even saying Chevy C10's the only truck. I'm just saying to get one that's easy to get parts for and whatever, and is easy to work on. People collect those trucks. They're going to be all over the place. You might not see as many as you need for sale, but when things hit the fan, there's going to be trucks laying around, and a lot of them are just parts trucks. So if you got a truck that needs parts, they got a truck that doesn't run, you know, you can work something out and get those parts. Not to mention, just about every single auto parts store has all the parts you'd need for that truck. Then there's junkyards and so on and so forth. And any truck, it doesn't matter if it's Ford, Chevy, or Dodge, if you can get the parts for it and it's easy to work on and more easy to maintain, I think that's the kind of vehicle that you want if you're living off-grid and maybe there's a shit hits the fan scenario. Well, let's give her a drink of water. Kind of low. That's a long way down there. Haven't had any temperature problems. Probably just low on water. I put a belt on a newer Dodge the other day, and it was such a pain in the ass. This one, you just slide it around the fan, and then there's your little notch, and you can crank this pulley down and slide your belt on it. It's that easy. Look at all the room inside the engine. This is just an inline 6, but you could put a larger engine in here easily. It's manual, so there's no transmission to work on. I think that's a good move. And just so simple. Spark plugs, wires, distributor, carburetor, and engine. It's definitely easier than the newer trucks. No injectors, no fuel rail, no ignition coils. So my buddy was over here taking a closer look at the engine mount, because I thought maybe the big shake was coming from that engine mount. And it's hard to tell. I mean, it looks pretty good. And this had a bunch of hubcaps on it, and I thought, well, I'm going to pull those off. I'd rather not even have them anyway. And as I was starting to jack this up a little, I thought, well, I'll pull on the wheel and rock it to see if anything's loose in the suspension up here. But before that, I just, out of curiosity, I just grabbed this. Look at this nut. And this one too. Huh? And none of the nuts on the rest of the truck are like that. And this is where the big hard shake is coming from. So I can only imagine. I was telling people I thought it might just need a wheel, like a balance, maybe different wheels. But I'm thinking now, it looks like these just need tightened up. I'm going to back them off first to make sure there's nothing broken in here. Looks like one of the lugs was loose and one broken. So I've got a bag of lugs here. I think that these will work for now. So you can see this one has actually, can you see that lip? Like it's actually broken away. And then this one's loose. So let's back them both off. I backed this one off first just because I didn't want to break it if, just in case I could figure out what it was and still drive on it. I didn't want to pull these ones yet. So I pulled this one first just to see if I had the right replacements. After looking at this closer, it is broken at the end, but that actually shouldn't really affect it. It was just, the problem was that this one and this one were loose. It's not broken enough to be a problem other than being loose. So we'll just put a new one. I'll just use a new one for now. I don't know. That just seems like the right thing to do. Or I could just tighten this one down, I guess. I just don't want it to fail later. So we'll do this, you see. These are slightly different, but similar enough. And I'll jack the wheel off the ground before I tighten this so that the rim can really seat well, and we shouldn't have any more shaking. What do you think, bud? Is that right? Am I right? Also, I noticed this tire's damaged, so I'll have to replace it, but I don't think that's why it's bumping around. Turns out 2 of these were broken, so I just replaced 2 of them. So that should solve the shake. We solved the power steering belt, and the last thing is the fuel gauge. Outside of that, this is pretty sound. And then I'll just start to do things like, I can see that the valve cover is leaking a little, so I can replace the valve cover. I can just put in a new distributor and some wires and plugs if I want to, and just slowly upgrade parts. If there's, damage to a radiator hose, you can just replace it before it goes bad, and get the thing running real good. Maybe a new air filter, so on and so forth. Clean up this wiring. Clean up any grounds. So something I've seen is most of these are rusted out, and I think this is the very worst rust this entire truck has. So I can probably just bust this out, clean it up, and just put in a little piece of metal here maybe if I want to, or just grind it all down and get rid of the rust and then prime it and maybe paint it. I'll probably just remove all this because it's like $500 to replace it. So just get rid of it all. Maybe I can, if I feel like it, I can see how the patina is after I sand it a little because it's just got a poor paint job. And, maybe paint it, maybe rhino line it, maybe just show off the patina and clear coat it if it's real pretty under that white paint. It'll need a new windshield. There's a crack in it. These need replaced. I can probably set up a windshield washer fluid reservoir and the pump for it, and windows work, and everything else is okay. So let's talk about the truck real fast. This is a 1977 C10. That means that it's a Chevy half-ton rear-wheel drive. I see these broke down. Maybe they've had a little work on them, but they're broke down for 5,000 bucks. I picked this one up for 2,700 bucks. Very little body damage. It's going to be easy to clean the body up. I think you just watched me fix most of the basic problems. From here, it's going to just need upgrades. You know, it needs a tune-up. You know, fresh tires would be good. Better rims down the road. You know, plugs, wires, some valves, or some gaskets possibly, like for the valve cover. And then from there, you got a great running truck that's reliable. Then I get this one running again. This one might have a head seal, so we'll see what happens. But then, when this one's running like a cherry, then down the road, if you feel like it, throw a big old engine in this thing. And I hear there's even a 4x4 kit. I'll probably do that too. Why not make it a 4x4? It's such a good truck. As is, I really like my E350 because I can haul 7,000 pounds in it easily. This one, not so much. This one's better. I've got a 3,000. When that water tank's full, it's 3,000 pounds. That's plenty for that truck. It's not built to haul a huge amount with that little inline six, but it's a good, reliable backup truck that I can upgrade later to haul more than that, potentially, if I wanted to. The way I see it is I could have been wasting 700 bucks a month for a truck payment. Instead, I spent 2,700 on this. To get it pretty well sound, I've almost spent nothing. And from here, you know, I can easily invest 500 or 1,000 bucks in the engine and have a real nice up and running truck, maybe 400 bucks in tires. I like this bench seat a lot, and I'm thinking just yank out, you know, sand this all down, prime it all, maybe put in Rhino liner on the floor, maybe paint the dash and paint the roof and everything nice, white, bright. Make it real nice. Either clean up these door panels or replace them, and replace the dash with old school matching the original color, and probably just leave the bench. And that'd, oh, and a new dash. I think I want to put in the nice LED dash. So that'd be maybe 1,400 bucks, and it would just be beautiful inside. It'd be beautiful outside. A nice, reliable farm truck, and still under like 6 grand. Yep, gonna probably do a different dash and different, well, entire dash probably will be different. I think I told you I want to, you know, sand all this down to bare metal, Rhino line, prime it, Rhino line it. I could put a boot on the shifter, keep the bench, clean everything else up. And here, let's see if it starts. Well, that didn't start real good, did it? Let's try it again. We'll give it just a little pump of gas here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I just put that belt on. Maybe it's too tight. So it doesn't look like grounding the thing fixed the fuel gauge. I think the last thing to do here is to drop the gas tank and replace the fuel sender. Comment below the most likely cause of a hard start. What would make the truck start better? And I think I'm ready to go get water again. You know, I fixed everything except the fuel gauge, so I'll order the fuel sender and then I'll fix that. I'll drop that tank later. You can subscribe if you want to follow along while I just, you know, I'm not trying to win any car shows with this thing, but I just want to bring the truck up to a level that it can function around the farm, the homestead for me. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.